Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we saved the Commissar that we've had before, Commissar Scarhurt, and we rescued him from the Dark Eldar and a homunculus that was using him and other strong-spirited people as catalysts for something. We had to fight the homunculus a number of times, and now we're back here. And we have to talk to Omicron Arc.
Analysis of the warp signatures recorded at the portal is now complete.
And where does the portal lead?
To an inconceivably complex, constantly changing extra-dimensional labyrinth that even our blessed technology is unable to explore.
You don't say. For a second there I thought you were describing the webway.
Voice analysis detected traces of sarcasm. Shall I activate the sociolinguistic subroutine?
That won't be necessary. So, where is the other exit?
Correction. There is an almost infinite number of other exits. Assumption. You want me to narrow the range parameter to the Rotwang system. There is one exit.
I want the coordinates now. We need to get there as soon as possible.
But before we get there, I need to break some stuff down. Now let's get there. Okay, nothing to talk about. Cool.
Tech Priest, your calculations were correct. This must be the last remaining Drukhari hideout in the Rotwang system.
The calculations are always correct. Usually missing data corrupts the equation. Suggested course of action. Initiate purgation protocols.
This is a viper's nest. I might need some reinforcements if the situation gets out of control. Tell my men to stand by.
You know, I can kind of see it now, purgation, but also I like purgation a lot better because it sounds better, and because I think purge, purgatory, without the E, I think how the G kind of comes in should be different. But whatever. Thought I had a good hit. Make sure my stacks are still up. Yeah, like I said before in the last episode, once you figure out the stack trick, the needler sniper rifle is all you really need. I mean, this thing is stupidly good. A human as he gets hosed down with toxic needles. I was about to make the joke of someone getting hit with a bunch of toxic needles. That's this, the South Central LA special, but that, if you want to be accurate, the South Central LA special would just be throwing a crackhead at someone. I'm not even sure in the 40K setting what you would have as a substitute for that. You know, as I said that, I was thinking, like, you know, what would be the fitting thing? And all I could think of was, like, from Warhammer Fantasy, the Night Goblins, with their addiction to mushrooms. And I thought, man, I wish the orcs had more like that. I get they have snotlings, but no one's ever like, oh damn, I need to make a snotling army. At least with the goblins, you could do like standard gobos, you could run wood like jungle goblins riding spiders and stuff. You could do night goblins. You know, you had a couple variants. Orcs are just kind of orcs. I mean, yeah, we got squigs. But even the squigs, I don't think they're as fleshed out in 40K. The more I try to think about it, the more it's inside. Like, yeah, we got the squig off. Bomb squigs. I know there's more, but it just doesn't feel like there's as many squigs.
I will send your soul screaming into the wall.
I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it a million times. Orcs need more stuff.
Target locked.
Or they need rules. They need rules for, like, using any army's vehicles. The whole thing being, if you kit bash, you know, a fire prism, this is how it will function as an orc fire prism. You know, maybe they can't have the fire prism cannon, but you can get something else.
It's the human beast. We should leave, Archon.
Don't be a fool. Without the paint sculptor, we stay and fight. Activate the Demented.
That is the most not Dark Eldar sounding Dark Eldar I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, you could, I mean, it would be a lot of work, and I mean, realistically, it would probably be a book unto itself. Orc vehicles get their own codex, but you could do, you know, if you kit bash different vehicles for orcs, you get different stat lines and stat effects. If you think I wouldn't want to see a fire prism with a predator tank top on it, or turret, you would be insane, because I think that would be the coolest thing.
Something is bothering me, Magos. This cabal is clearly losing the battle here. Why? What am I missing?
These creatures are very consistent, even in their cruelty. Their cabals are waging constant battles amongst themselves, and the punishment for failure is worse than death.
They must be protecting something very important here.
That would be my guess as well.
But just thinking about that, I'd love to see a really in-depth setup for orc vehicle kit bashes, or just more looted versions of vehicles. Like, would they ever get their hands on Necron tech? I mean, there was one instance in lore where one of the dynasties they cut a deal with some orcs. We're like, hey, if you help fight these guys, we will give you some of our plasma, I think it was plasma flayers. Like, hey, we'll give you some of our plasma tech. And the orcs were like, okay, we'll do it. They ended up getting it. One of the not mech boy. What is it, a mech boy? I think so. Yeah, I think it's a mech boy. He ends up cracking open, like, a seal in the plasma flare, and it ruptures and obliterated the entire orc fleet and a planet, I think, or a system. Just something happened and it just obliterated everything. So I could see them maybe not getting their guns, but I could see them getting their hands on like a tomb scythe ship and some orc like fighter ace claiming it as his. Or fighting the Ecclesiarchy and the Sisters of Battle. I'd love to see an orc version of an Exorcist tank. Or an orc version of a Penitent engine. I think it'd be interesting. Yeah, it's not... I mean, I can't even say it's not war-friendly. It's the orcs, they can just grab whatever they want. I mean, their whole shtick is they just use what they find, and half their stuff theoretically doesn't work. Not even theoretically, it just shouldn't work. They just have the power of imagination to back them. Man, I would kill for a good slow. I mean, I'm landing pretty flimsy attacks, but... Oh, there's a treasure chest back this way. Forget fighting, people. I need loot.
Loading.
And this gives me time to pull a reload. Give me the loot. I mean, it was a bunch of crap, but... Money and components for making stuff, I can always use stuff to make stuff. There's never going to be a point where I'm like, oh, I don't need to make a new weapon. Even when I'm at, you know, level 100. You know, I've never actually reached level 100, so I'm wondering if there's a, like, Paragon system in this. I'd really like it if there was. But I feel like a Paragon system would just absolutely break every bit of balance this game has. Because if it's anything like Diablo, I think one of Diablo's things was like crit chance, and with a character like this, and just how much stuff you can pour into crit chance, you would just roll around critting everything. And if you have... like my rifle has heal on every crit, well, if I'm critting every bullet, you look at how many I just dump into enemies, I would just heal out of everything.
Target acquired. That must be the fabled Demented. A fitting name for a creation of an insane mind.
I mean, it's a Talos, but sure. Call it the Demented. Make yourself feel fancy. Get my suppression all fixed. Oh yeah, so my holograms do apply debuffs. That's pretty cool. So I bet I could just sit here and mess with guys if I had, I don't know, something with a lot of flame effects.
The secret, the Dark Eldar are so keen on preserving.
Sensors indicate an inner chamber in your vicinity. Proceed cautiously.
Kick over the door.
What has happened to you, creature? Did you fall from grace?
I am not afraid to admit that I require your assistance, even if you are a member of an inferior race. I am Malach, and you should know that I am the genius who conceived the prototype for the mighty pain catalysts.
That would be enough reason to kill you right here.
A short-sighted but ultimately understandable sentiment. My work was understandably desired by many, and the Cabal of the Jagged Maze sent a coterie of dissonants to kidnap me. They rocked me up and tortured me, until I built them the first pain catalysts.
I thought your kind isn't bothered by pain.
There is a mild discomfort. However, they started to take away things from me. Memories, abilities, organs, and they destroyed my invaluable bestiary. It contained the most extraordinary specimen. For that, they deserve all the suffering in this bleak universe.
Tell me, why should I care?
We have common enemies. Inquisitor. Let me through the webway gate and my coven, the prophets of flesh, will do anything in our power to destroy the Jagged Maze.
They have been wiped out from these systems.
You are a fool if you believe that you've seen the last of them. But you are not a fool, are you? But their defeat and humiliation undermines their positions. There is nothing more dangerous in our society than any sign of weakness. Let me exist, and I will be the herald of their failure.
Nope, you get flattened. I say that you and the entire Drakari race are a pest upon this universe. You were a prisoner here, and still you are the same sadistic deranged monster as your keepers. You must perish. Blam.
Mission complete. I'm heading back to the ship.
Have you successfully eradicated the Xenox threat?
For the moment, I have dealt a mighty blow to one of their despicable cabals. And these worlds are safe for now. But I'm afraid that this is not the end. Far from it. Reloading.
See, this is one of those things where I don't feel bad about taking the Puritan stance, because yes, he could eradicate the Cabal of the Jagged Maze, but that doesn't fix anything, because he still knows how to make pain catalysts, and he would be free to make them for anyone else or sell them to anyone else. And suddenly, a problem I can end immediately becomes a long-standing problem. And I don't care. They're already weakened to the point where they're going to be predated upon by other Dark Eldar groups. So, blapping that dude was no big deal. But with that out of the way, it is the end of the episode. So, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button, it helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.